Hey, folks, welcome to another episode of Cutter One. I am your host, Jay Just Jay, your resident troublemaker and your resident culture warrior. I hope you are all doing awesome as we start this next week. All right, I mean, it's Monday. I don't know what else I can say other than, yes, my heart bleeds for you that it's Monday and we all got to get back to the grind, but, let's get through it. We'll power through and get to the weekend and, hopefully things will go good. All right, uh, yeah, got a couple of articles going to talk about today. Got a couple of videos coming out today, and so let's get right into it. Starting us off is this one coming to us from the good folks over at Screen Rant, and it says The Boys beats Rings of Power to be Prime Video's biggest show of 2022. So, despite the $1 billion budget and all the hype, The Boys season 3 still beat Rings of Power. Let that sink in. All right. The Boys beat The Rings of Power, Prime Video's most streamed original television series of 2022, and there's a good explanation for the win. The Boys was streamed more than any other Prime Video original series in 2022, even next to The Lord of the Rings of Power. The release of The Boys Season 3 in 2022 continued to make the satirical superhero series a massive hit for the streamer. A couple of months later, a new highly anticipated Prime Video series was released with The Rings of Power. It is one of the most expensive television shows ever made, and already had an extensive built-in audience given the long and rich history of The Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, and the lore surrounding Middle-earth. According to Nielsen ratings reported by Deadline, The Boys was Prime Video's biggest show of the year, leading Billy Butcher actor Carl Urban to go to Twitter to celebrate the achievement. And this is, you see his tweet right there, and Carl says, massive thanks to everyone who watched The Boys TV Season 3. Nielsen ratings just crowned The Boys the #1 show in 2022 for Prime Video, and 11th in streaming with 10.6 billion minutes viewed. Truly blown away. Thank you, and congrats to the real Kripke and the entire Boys production. The Boys' success is evident, and it was streamed for 10.6 billion viewing minutes, whereas The Rings of Power was streamed for 9.4 billion minutes. When compared to all original streaming series in 2022, The Boys came in at number 11 and The Rings of Power at number 15. They are the only Prime Video series to make the top 15, with Netflix taking the rest of the 13 spots on the list of original streaming series. How The Boys beat The Rings of Power? I don't know, by not being a shit show. But, let's see what the article says. One of the main reasons that The Boys beat The Rings of Power is because The Boys had significantly more episodes available to stream in 2022. Not only did The Boys release the 8 episodes that made up Season 3, but there were already 16 episodes to watch from Season 1 and 2. Nielsen takes all episodes of a series into account when gathering its data. For example, Stranger Things was the most streamed show of 2022 at 52 billion minutes, but that not only included the season 4 episodes released last year, but rather all 34 episodes of the series. The Rings of Power has only released 8 episodes so far, which automatically puts it at a disadvantage compared to other series that released new episodes in 2022. It is also worth noting that The Rings of Power did not release its first episode until September 2022, whereas The Boys Season 3 finale was released in July 2022, thus giving The Boys not only more episodes, but also more time to be streamed by audiences. The only other series to make the top 15 with these few episodes is the Netflix show Wednesday, which also has 8 episodes. What will be Prime Video's most streamed show of 2023? With The Rings of Power not expected to return until 2024 and no confirmed release window yet for The Boys Season 4, a different series will likely end up being Prime Video's most streamed show of 2023. One of the top contenders is The Boys live-action spin-off series Gen V, that is confirmed to release in 2023. If Gen V doesn't take the crown in 2023, other top contenders might be Good Omens Season 2 or Invincible Season 2. Both shows have built-in audiences between their respective source material and the existing episodes from their popular first seasons, and their second seasons have been highly anticipated for a while now, giving them a chance to be the most streamed show of 2023. All right, so what we can basically boil that one down to is a lot of cope and seethe, because even amongst their own shows, even amongst Amazon's own shows, Rings of Power came up short, as it has consistently done. Every time, there's a metric that they think it's going to blow right through, it constantly comes up short. Now, I like their logic, because according to their logic, right, the only reason why the boys were able to do that is because there's been 2 previous seasons of The Boys, so it has more episodes, and it came out earlier in the year, so it had more time to be watched. However, interestingly, when it comes to the more time to be watched stuff, notice how they didn't say that this, magnificent billion-dollar series, right? This benchmark tentpole series for Amazon, The Rings of Power, right? There was no mention that that might be the number one show on Prime for 2023, right? You would think, because it's going to have all year, all 2023 for people to view it, right? That's sort of the argument they were making for why The Boys beat out Rings of Power, right? Was because that it was released earlier in the year, therefore the audience, there was more time for the audience to watch it, therefore its numbers would be higher. Well, following that logic then, all of 2023, Rings of Power should be building up its viewership, right? But somehow they're already laying the groundwork that, no, it's not going to be the number one show of 2023. And we all know why it's not going to be the number one show of 2023, because it fucking sucks. Okay? But anyway, a lot of cope and see there, a lot of running interference, a lot of smoke and mirrors with data and playing with statistics. And any of you guys out there who, know a little thing about statistics and statistical analysis and stuff like that, you can pretty much manipulate numbers to say whatever you want them to say. I'm not talking like some conspiracy theory level nonsense. I'm just talking about, statistic numbers can be manipulated, right? It's just a given. It's like whenever you hear, we surveyed, 80% of the people we surveyed said they support whatever, X, Y, or Z, right? Well, you find out that the 80% of people they surveyed may have been only like 80% of the people in one small town that is very religious and very politically right of center support this right of center position. So yeah, you can manipulate the numbers to say whatever you want. And that's what you have going on here. Also notice how, again, and I mentioned this in the other video, it's not the top 20, right? Nielsen shows for 2022, right? They don't say the top 20 and they don't say the top 10. And the reason why they don't say the top 10 is you don't hear them mention the top 10, because if they mention the top 10, then literally nothing from Amazon makes it into the top 10, right? Literally. The Boys was number 11, okay? Rings of Pewter was number 15. So if they go with the top 10 shows of 2022, nothing from Amazon makes that list. This is supposedly with the most expensive series in television history, right? And they don't say the top 20 because by showing the top 20 and having The Boys at number 11 and Rings of Power at number 15, all you do is, in essence, highlight that there's 20 shows, on only 2 of them, 1 in 10, came from Amazon. Let that sink in. Make of that what you will. But anyway, that's why they're saying the top 15 shows of 2022. Yes, because that's the only way that you could get anything from Amazon on the list. If you, like I said, if you stick with the top 10 of 2022, nothing from Amazon shows up. But anyway, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Are you surprised that The Boys Season 3 beat out The Rings of Pewter? And that is what I'm calling it from now on, The Rings of Pewter. Are you surprised that The Boys beat it? Are you surprised at the little, sleight of hand that they do with the numbers and the statistics and the data here to try and make it seem like it's the show did better than it actually did, or at this point, are we all just used to it, right? Are we kind of used to this nonsense? But yeah, let me know what you think down in the comment section below. All right, folks, if you like the video, then like the video. If you feel like sharing it, by all means, feel free to do so. It gets us out there, it gets us seen, it helps build the army of beautiful badasses. And that's what you all are, right? If you haven't subscribed, I would hope that you would consider joining the army of beautiful badasses and giving the hitting that subscribe button. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your time and for being part of this journey that we're all going on to draw a line in the sand and hold the ground for the professor and his works, right? And all of us fans of high fantasy and the like. So yeah, I will look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Remember to be good, be awesome, be safe, but more importantly, as we discussed during the Saturday live stream, stay more dorkish. Until then, peace.